Welcome to all the participants. In today's webinar, we'll wait for a couple of minutes to allow everyone to join in and settle down, and then we'll get started with today's session, today's discussion. Uh, before we get on to anything, I will very quickly look into the live stream because most of you would want to have the recording of today's session, and for that, we have to ensure that the live stream is working fine. So just allow me a few seconds to check on that, and I will be back with you. And in case if you're wondering where am I looking at, so I'm just looking at the other monitor where I have the live stream preview open. So it is working fine, perfect. And that leads to a very common question that we often get in our webinars, and that is, will I get the recording of this session? That's a very common question that we get, and the answer is absolutely yes. You will get the recording of the webinar, and there is some issue with my lighting setup. Just allow me a quick second to look into it. Sorry, one of the connector was loose, and that's why I lost the connectivity, and apologies for that. So it is resolved, but I still have to get my other monitor up. So just allow me a few more seconds to look into that. Yes, finally, we are able to resolve everything. Thankfully, it was not a major issue. And in case you're wondering what was happening, so there was some connection issue because of that. My lighting setup and one of the monitor went out, and I had to just quickly look into it. Thankfully, it wasn't major, and I am using a different audio setup today. So unlike a typical session where I use a larger mic, I'm using a wireless mic, and that is because there's some construction work happening in the adjoining room. So just the wireless mic has the noise cancellation feature. So just I wanted to use that to avoid any unwanted noise filtering down to you. All right, so this is where we should get started, and apologies for wasting your precious time. So I think this is where we should get started, and I can see there are a number of participants who have just joined, so let me welcome them as well. Good evening and a warm welcome to all of you in today's webinar. And I would also like to welcome Mr. Mukesh, who is a FIEO official, uh, an official from the Federation of All India Export Organization, and he has taken out time from his busy schedule to be part of today's webinar. So if you have any question related to licensing, or if you want to understand for which type of product, what type of license certification, etc. are required. So you are more than welcome to ask those questions. He is here, or any other more specific export related question, or if you have any question related to FIEO, please do feel free to ask. Now, how are you going to ask your questions? For that, you have to use the Q&A tool. So if you look down below, that's where you will see Q&A. You have to use that option to ask your question. All right, so that's how you are going to ask the question. You can use chat as well, but typically there is quite a bit of exchange happening in the chat. So there's a possibility that your question might get missed out. So better to add that to the Q&A and not to the chat. I will try to have a look at the chat as well, but in case I miss out, so that is something you should try to avoid. And that's why consider adding your question in the Q&A, not in the chat. So this is where we should get started. I will start sharing my screen. And while I'm doing that, let me share a quick introduction about myself as well. My name is Adnan. I'm Director SME Commerce Growth at Global Inker. So as the designation suggests, I look into digital commerce at Global Inker. Additionally, I also actively work on sharing knowledge and information with business owners on how they can use digital and technology to grow their business. Because in today's day and age, you will also agree that there are so many technology solutions which are available, but how many of us actually know to effectively utilize them, right? So that's where there is a knowledge gap. Earlier there was a solution gap. Now the solution gap is no longer there. There are so many solutions coming up every day. Technology is advancing exponentially, but the knowledge gap is widening, and that is where we try to contribute as much as possible by conducting webinars, workshops, conferences, seminars, etc. And I had the personal opportunity, or a wonderful opportunity, of personally conducting more than 500 such sessions over the past 5-6 years. And I'd been blessed to interact and share a little bit of knowledge with about 12,000 business owners in various countries. So that is a quick introduction about myself. Now, during my introduction, I've also shared my screen, or I've started sharing my screen. So if anyone from the audience can confirm if you're able to see my screen, that will be really wonderful. You can just type yes. Perfect, wonderful. I can see there are so many participants who are helping me. Thank you all for helping. It is not possible for me to name each and every one of you because of the paucity of time. So thank you all of you for helping me and understanding that you're all able to see the screen. Now we are all gathered here to understand about Indian Business Portal. Now, before we get into the main topic, that how are you going to connect and do business with the international buyers on Indian Business Portal, let me firstly give you a quick introduction about Indian Business Portal. I'm not going to take you or take a lot of your time. It is going to be a very quick 5-minute introduction that I'm going to give you. Firstly, what is Indian Business Portal? So Indian Business Portal is a trade hub for Indian exporters and foreign buyers to do business. So this is a platform where Indian exporters are showcasing their offering, and international buyers are coming and they are seeing your offering and they are doing business with you. How are they going to do business with you? That is the main agenda of our webinar, and that is something that we will be discussing in detail in next few minutes. But before that, let's understand further about Indian Business Portal. So you understood that it is a platform which is created to help Indian exporters. But what is the objective of the platform? So there are two objectives. The first one is to help each and every one of you create your own digital presence. And this is not very obvious, because Indian Business Portal, if you just think about it, it looks like a platform where you are going to create your profile and you are going to list your products, etc. Right? So it looks like that, but it also has a greater objective of digitizing Indian exporters. Because if you look around you, you will certainly know there are so many good exporters who create phenomenally amazing products, but forget about having a website or having a profile on the internet. They don't even have an email. They are absolutely absent from the internet. Now, that absence from the internet hurts them, hurts us as a country, because if an international buyer is wanting to connect with them, do business with them. And we all know that the next generation, the Gen Z, is taking over, and a significant portion of international buying is now being handled by Gen Z, and they are a very, very tech savvy generation. So if you don't exist on the internet, if you don't have a digital presence, you are absolutely absent or non-existent for them. Right? So that's where it is extremely important that each and every one of you create your digital presence. And I certainly believe many of you must have already done that. But if we look around, there are so many businesses that haven't done that. And it is important that each and every one of you does that, so that all our exporters are present on the internet, and international buyers can easily connect with you. They can easily find you, not just on Indian Business Portal, otherwise as well. If they are searching on Google, if they are searching through chat, and uh, search through AI is the next big thing which is going to happen. So it is going to drastically change how international sourcing is going to happen. So in future, no one is actually going to go on a search and like look for. They will just express, this is what we have to import from this country. Look for suppliers, and the AI will immediately do that and list out all the products, etc., etc. It will even create purchase requirement, etc. So that is something we can discuss in a separate session, but that is where the world is heading, and that's where you have to be digitally present to do that. Now, unfortunately, this particular word, digital presence, has been exploited so extensively that everyone has created their own imagination or interpretation of this term, digital presence. So I don't want any of one of you to be confused with what does digital presence means. So that's where what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my screen, show you a few examples so that you are absolutely clear in terms of what type of digital presence you will be creating. All right. So let's allow me a second to switch my screen. And where do I have that? Here I have that. And let me just reload the page. Okay, it is reloaded. So here you can see I've opened about 15, 20 examples in front of you. So why am I taking you through this? Reason are twofold. One is to help you understand what type of digital presence that you will be able to create. And we are just spending time here because this is something which is not very clear, or which is not explicit. Right? This is something that you're getting on the side, and which is very, very important for your business. So you are going to create a digital presence, and this is an example of a digital presence which is created by a business similar to yours. Obviously, not may not be in your exact business line, but an exporter who has created their own digital presence, and this is what we are looking at. They are into equipment and products which are used for setting up sports institutions, stadiums, etc. So this is their digital catalog. Now, many of you who are slightly more tech savvy, you must be thinking like, it looks like an online shopping website. And you may be right to a certain extent, but this is a B2B business. Obviously, we are looking at their products, which are ground rollers, 2 ton, 3 ton ground roller, and no one is going to buy them. Let's be realistic. No one is going to buy them online. But people who are interested in buying these products, they can express their desire that we are interested in this product, and then they can respond back, right? So with a quotation, or if they need further clarification, they can respond back. So that is what this business is able to achieve. So in addition to having their presence on the Indian business portal and being able to list their products, etc., they are also able to generate leads and inquiries through their own digital presence, right? So this is your own presence that you are able to create. I'm showing you a product as an example. So this, where you can see the ground roller. They have even added a demonstration video that how the ground roller is going to work. There's a lot more information about the product which is available. Now imagine there is an international buyer who is interested in this product, so they can simply click on send inquiry, and they can express their desire. So this is one example, and I deliberately started with a B2B example because I believe many of you may be in B2B business. So that's why I deliberately started with a B2B example. There is another example that I would want to show to you. This is a business which is into manufacturing and export of matchsticks. They also do contract manufacturing for international buyers. So this is their digital catalog or online store or digital presence, if you have to use the same term, they have created on the platform. There's another business which is into leather products, and this is their digital catalog that we are looking at. This is another business which is entirely different, which is in a very different genre. And this is a business that is into tools which are used, precision tools which are used for diamond cutting and polishing, etc. And then we have another business which is entirely different. This is a hardcore engineering products online store. And these are all businesses like you who have signed up and created their own digital presence on the platform. And these are their official websites now, right? These are their official websites. You can see they're all live on their own domain. So these are all their official website. This is a business which is into jewelries. And now you must be thinking like, okay, this is online shopping. No, this is again a B2B business, which is generating inquiries. This is where you can see send inquiries. So if there's a business that is interested in buying their product, they will be sending them an inquiry. Retail buying, the small quantity buying, that is not happening on the website. But having said that, it does not mean you can't do that. So let me show you an example. So this is a business that is into organic products, an exporter of organic products, and this where as a potential international buyer, I can very conveniently come here and I can do an add to cart and I can place an order. So if I want to buy in smaller quantities, I can do that. This is another business which is into, let me show their website, I think. Yeah. So this is another business which is into natural beauty product, and they cater to domestic as well as international retail clients. So if I'm in US and I want to buy the product for my personal use, I can very conveniently place an order. I can buy the product. Now, some of you who are familiar with online buying may be thinking that, okay, this is where the pricing you can see is in INR, but a customer who's in US will be certainly wanting to see the product in USD, because otherwise they'll not be able to relate to it. So is that happening? Yes, certainly that is happening. The website comes with a feature wherein, depending on the location of the person who's viewing the product, the currency automatically changes. So let me switch the tab and show that to you once again. So this is the product, and this is where you can see in India, the price is 669 rupees, whereas if you're looking at the product from US, the pricing is $9.10. So it automatically detects this, where I'm showing you through a tool. But if a customer is looking at the product from US, this is how it will appear. So these kind of features which are required for international retail sale, they're also available. Domestic sale, if you want to do, those features are also available on your platform. There's another example. There's another exporter from Surat who deals in ethnic wear and ethnic product, women ethnic wear. and this is their digital catalog that they have created on the platform. Now, if you want to do both the things together on the same website, you can do that. There's an example that we are looking at from a women Western wear product exporter. And here you can see there are two buttons. So one is send inquiry and another is add to cart. We've already seen the send inquiry button. So if there's a potential international buyer who's wanting to buy from them in bulk, they can use the send inquiry feature. And if there's a retail customer like me who wants to buy their product in smaller quantities, I can use the add to cart feature, right? So both the options are available, and the same website can cater to both types of audience. So at one end, you can cater to retail customers and do business with them. At the other end, you can also cater to bulk buyers and cater to them. There are a few more examples. This is an example of a home improvement products, and they are also using the same functionality, wherein send in inquiry and add to cart, both the options are available. So these were a few examples I thought of giving to you so that you are clear about this concept of digital catalog that you can create. All right, so digital catalog or your own digital presence that you are going to create along with your presence on the Indian Business Portal. So I hope now the concept is slightly more clearer in your heads. So let's go back to the presentation and let's understand what is the other objective of Indian Business Portal, and that is very simple and obvious. That is to present you in front of international buyers, and by doing so, it also helps international buyers because from an international buyer's perspective, it is also reducing their effort. Because imagine there is an international buyer in, let's say, Europe, and they're wanting to buy, let's say, basmati rice. Now, without Indian Business Portal, they have to search and look for different profiles, etc. But with Indian Mills Portal, all they have to do is to come to Indian Mills Portal and search for the exporters who are providing basmati rice. And they can even more conveniently just raise a RFQ, and then all the Indian exporters who are wanting to export basmati rice, they can just submit their responses, right? So it helps international buyers. And when we are helping international buyers making their discovery journey or their journey of finding Indian exporter easier, more international buyers will be willing to do business with Indian exporter, and that will help us grow Indian exports and create more opportunities for you. So that is the other objective of Indian Business Portal. Now, before I close the presentation, because I mentioned I'm not going to take a lot of time of yours walking you through the presentation. So there's just one more slide I would want to walk you through. And this slide is very important, more importantly, from the perspective that it helps you understand what are the areas of opportunity which are there and which I wish you should consider exploiting. The first part on this slide is your journey. How are you going to become part of Indian Business Portal? How are you going to list your offerings on Indian Business Portal? So this is you, your business. Now, what you're going to create is an online store. So in the previous tab, wherein I walked you through so many examples. So similar to that, you will be creating one of your own website, even if you have an existing website, because this is a very common question that we get, that we have our own existing website. Can we link that to Indian Business Portal? No, you will have to create it on the platform. There are many reasons for that. One is there are certain custom features which are exclusive to Indian Business Portal and may not be there on your website, and that's why those features may not work. Second is the data consistency, because you may have defined a field in a certain way, I may have defined a field in a certain way, and that will lead to a very complex mess. So that's where you should consider creating a platform. Even if you have an existing website, you can consider creating it on the platform to list your products on Indian Business Portal. So you'll be creating your own online store, and once that is completed, you will link it with Indian Business Portal, and then your products will be listed. Now, this is the joining journey, which I've just explained to you. Now, once this is done, what are the areas of opportunity through which you are going to grow your business? What are the areas which you should explore or consider exploiting? The first one is wherein FIEO constantly puts in effort to bring international buyers onto Indian Business Portal. And those international buyers, when they are reviewing your products, they can consider reaching out to you and doing business with you. So that is one area of opportunity. Now, this is where you may think that, okay, this is where there's nothing that I have to do. No, you have to do a lot of things here. Firstly, you have to ensure that you are listed. Once you are listed, then you have to ensure that you are appearing on top of the search. If you have to improve the keywords, or if you have to add some particular word into the description, your products are properly described, your profile is updated. So there are a lot of things that you have to work on here as well to ensure that you are exploiting this opportunity, right? So this is one opportunity that is there for you. The second opportunity is something which comes from your online store, because now you have a digital presence, now you have your own website, so you can do digital marketing now, right? So you can do your own digital promotions, bring the international buyer onto your online store, and then convert them. So that is the second island of opportunity that you should also exploit. The third island of opportunity is that you're going to become part of a business community of members from 150 countries. And this is where, similar to LinkedIn, you can do business networking, wherein you're networking with another business owners. And in case they have a requirement for your product or service offering, they can do business with you. Otherwise, they may know someone who has a requirement, and through that, you can also consider generating leads, etc. So this is the entire ecosystem and various opportunities that you can consider exploiting. So this is where now I'm going to turn off the presentation. No more of the presentation. We will straight away go to Indian Business Portal, and the rest of the discussion we will be doing through Indian Business Portal only. Now, this is where the main agenda for today's discussion. We are now going to start discussion on that. The main agenda was how are you going to do business with international buyers, or how you going to connect with foreign buyers on Indian Business Portal to grow your export business, right? That was the main agenda, and that's why you are here. So for doing business with international buyers, the first prerequisite, and which is obviously clear in everyone's mind, is that you should be present on Indian Business Portal. Now that is something which I'm going to explain in next 5-10 minutes. And I'll explain the entire process. I'll provide you the tutorial material, etc. I'll provide all that. But when it comes to doing business, so let's imagine that you are already present on Indian Business Portal. Now, how are you going to do business? What are the processes? How are they going to directly connect with you, etc.? All those questions I'm going to answer them. So broadly, there are two processes using which international buyers connect and do business with Indian exporters on Indian Business Portal. What are those two processes? The first one is post-buying requirement, which you can see here. And let me highlight that as well for you. So this is the post-buying requirement feature. Now, you might be wondering, post-buying requirement, what does it has to do with us? We are sellers. That's a buying requirement which has to be posted by buyers, and you are right in your understanding. This is something which is used by international buyers to express their requirement that this is what we are wanting to import from India. Now all these requirements are displayed on the home screen. So if you scroll down a little bit, and this is the live Indian Business Portal that we are looking at. So if you scroll down a little bit, this is where you will see few of the requirements which are there. Now, if you want to see more, you can just simply click on view all, and it will take you to another page, which is where you will see the various requirements which are there. So there are hundreds and hundreds of requirements which are there, and some of them are closed, some of them are open. You can consider responding to them. The open ones you can consider responding. The closed ones you can't actually respond because they are already in process. There's some discussion which has already happened, right? So, but if there's something which is of interest to you, and you want to explore that, can I still participate in this? So this is where you can reach out to FIEO. I will share the email ID with all of you in the chat. So you should reach out to FIEO, and if it is possible for them to accommodate you or to introduce you to the international buyer, they will be more than happy to do that. All right. Now, coming back to the entire process, how does this work? So international buyers, either they come to Indian Business Portal and they use the post-buying requirement option to express their requirement, or they directly reach out to FIEO and share with them that this is what we are wanting to import from India, because FIEO actively works on the international trade front and conducts and participates in so many trade shows, workshops, etc. So that's where there are a lot of international buyers who actively import from India. They are very familiar and friendly with FIEO. So they a lot of time directly approach FIEO and share their requirement, or they approach one of our embassies or trade commissions, and through that, those requirements are again forwarded to FIEO. And then after receiving those requirements, FIEO works on uh, doing a little bit of due diligence, understanding the requirement, and once the officials are clear, then they post those requirements here. So that's how the incoming process works. Now, how does this entire procedure works, right? So once these requirements are posted, we share an update across the network. So all the exporters who are listed on Indian Business Portal, they'll get an update. They will get an email from our side with a message that there is this requirement wherein the international buyer is wanting to import this product, and please review and submit your quote or submit your response. So you will get an update. And once you have received an update or you come to Indian Business Portal, you can review the requirement and you can submit your response. Now, these requirements are typically valid for a week, and after a week, they are closed, and then the information is shared with international buyers. So let me just walk you through the entire timeline as well. So imagine today there's a requirement which has come. So you came to know about that requirement through an email, or you just came to this section and you saw the requirement. So you reviewed the requirement and then you submitted the response. Now, once this end period is closed, or once the requirement is closed, that is where FIEO team will again start working on streamlining or cleaning up the data, because it has been experienced in the past that there are certain elements who fill in wrong detail, and if those wrong details are shared, or improper details, if they are shared with national band, that gives a very negative impression about us. So that's why there's a cleanup process that is done by FIEO officials. Once that cleanup process is done, then the cleaned up responses are shared with international buyer, who will again take about 2 weeks to review them and then finalize which are the Indian exporters they would like to work with or do business with. Now, when it comes to firstly, let's stick to the timeline. So when you're looking at the timelines from the date of posting the RFQ on Indian Business Portal to the date wherein there's a commercial discussion or there's a meeting which gets initiated, you should imagine 3 to 4 weeks as the entire timeline, right? Because many times on our help desk, we get these emails or calls that I have responded to a particular RFQ on Indian Business Portal, but there has been no response. And we try to check on that. And when we investigate, we found out that the person has just responded yesterday. So that's why I'm just sharing with you so that when you're responding, you are clear about the timeline that it will take about typically 3 to 4 weeks for any response to come to you. All right. Now, when international buyer has chosen you, just imagine that scenario. In that case, what will happen? So either the international buyer will share the list of chosen Indian exporters with the FIEO and will ask them to schedule a meeting. So in that case, FIEO will reach out to you and they will schedule online meeting similar to how we are meeting, and then connect with you so that you can have the discussion with the international buyer. So it totally depends on the comfort level of international buyer, or otherwise they can also choose to directly connect with you. Or thirdly, which also happens sometime, that they will share the list of chosen Indian exporters with FIEO and ask FIEO to ask you to connect with them. Right. So they're not going to ask the FIEO to schedule a meeting. They'll simply say that, okay, these are the chosen exporters. Please ask them to connect with us. Here are our contact details. And then you can approach them, schedule a meeting with them, and take the discussion forward. Right. So that's how the entire discussion will happen. Now, this is a very simple and straightaway process wherein you have to just provide few business details, etc. But there are 2 points that I would want to highlight here with respect to the form submission. One is please review the requirement, because this is where what we have seen quite often, that exporter just sees this product image and the title, and they simply submit the response. And at a later date, when the international buyer has finalized that these are the exporters that we would want to work with, and when the meeting started, that's where the exporters realized that we can't fulfill the requirement because they were not clear about the requirement. Why did they that happen? Because they just looked at the product visuals and the product title, and they just submitted the response. You should not do that. You should be absolutely clear about the requirement. Once you'll click on the click here on the next page, details of the requirements are listed. But still, if you have a question, you can reach out to FIEO. There is an email ID. So if you scroll down on this page, or if you scroll down on Indian Business Portal and go to the footer, that's where you will see this email ID. It is ivp@fio.org. This is the email ID. I will also share that in the chat with all of you. So you should ask for clarification or seek for clarification if you are not clear about the requirement, right? So if you have any question, if there's any clarification, then please do mention what is the RFQ that you're referring to. So
Adnan sir,
that's
you may open second. Suppose chilli.
sure. So yeah, thank you, Mukesh.
Okay,
So
sir.
this is what I was referring to. So this is where once you click on click here, it will open this form. And here you can see the requirement is clearly laid out. But still, if you have questions, please get that clarified. It is a very unpleasant situation for the exporter, as well as for FIEO, for us, and for us as a country, that everything is finalized. And that's where the exporter is realizing that I was not clear about the requirement, and it creates a very negative impression. I hope all of you will agree. So let's be absolutely clear about the requirement, and then you should proceed ahead to submit the form. Now, the form, as I mentioned, is very, very simple to fill, like your email, company name, your name, contact details, IC code. You have to upload the IC code. You have to specify whether you're manufacturer, exporter, or merchant exporter. Uh, and if you're a merchant exporter, you have to upload your factory or MSME certificate. If you're a FIEO or a member of any export promotion council, you have to upload your RCMC certificate. And then if you're listed on Indian Business Portal, you have to provide the link of your online store. Now, the second point, if you recall, I mentioned that there are 2 points I would want to highlight with you. The first point was related to having clarity about the requirement. The second point is related to these two questions which are there. This is where it has been asked that what is your experience of this particular product? And then the second question is about your business capabilities, etc. This is where what we have again noticed that many exporters, and it is not like they don't have potential and they don't have experience. It is either laziness or their apprehension, because we feel like our English is not that good, and if we are writing, it may cause more damage. So use AI. Now we have AI, so you can even dictate it in Hindi, and it will convert that into a beautifully formatted, grammatically correct, and professionally written English. You can use that, right? So don't be shy, or don't be conscious of the fact that your English is not that good, and if you're adding anything that may do damage, no, you can even dictate that to AI in Hindi, and it will convert that into very good English. So you should use that. You shouldn't be shy in explaining, because this where, let's be realistic, the all the other fields which I showed you, they are all information fields, and all of us, if I'm submitting, I will also have that information. If Mukesh ji is submitting, he will also have that information. And if let's say Praveen ji, I just saw a name in the chat. If Praveen Arora ji is submitting, he will also have all these details, right? So all of us will have all these details. How will international buyer choose us, right? Not on our name. So obviously we have to give them some reason. We have to give them some information that why they should be choosing us, right? So please do add detailed responses here, not just words like yes or yes, we have experience. That is something that we have observed quite often. So just sort of highlighting that. Now, a very common question that often gets asked in our webinars, and that is from startups or exporters who are just starting off. So they actively ask this question that we don't have an experience, so should we leave this field blind? You can't do that because it is a mandatory field. So what you should be doing is you should be absolutely clear that we are a startup and that's where we don't have any experience, but this is something unique that we are bringing on the table, right? This is a unique feature, or there's a unique sourcing process, or there's a something special quality with respect to your sourcing or process manufacturing, etc. Whatever is that USP that you're bringing on the table, you should be highlighting that. You should be giving a reason, right? So just let's not be blinded or get myopic by the term like experience. This is an opportunity for you to give a reason to international buyer to choose you, right? That's it. That's what you have to do. All right. So these were the 2 points that I wanted to highlight to you so that when you are submitting your response, you don't make these mistakes. All right. So this is one of the process through which you will be doing business on Indian Business Portal, right? Now, before I explain the second process, it is important that I also highlight to you what are the things. I've already highlighted to you the two important points, but another issue which I've noticed is that there are certain good exporters who have like very nice products, but I've seen that they sometimes miss out on these opportunities. And there was one requirement I knew, personally knew one of the exporters, and they had like very nice range of product, and like it was a absolute match, right? So there was a requirement here, and I knew an exporter who had exactly that product, and they were in that category. But and somehow it skipped my mind to check with them when that requirement was live. And later, when that requirement was actually closed, I reached out to them and just to check like what happened. You must have got the contract because you were like the exact choice. That's what the international buyer wanted. But I was surprised. I was in fact shocked to know that the person didn't even knew that there was a requirement. Why did that happen? They were part of Indian Business Portal. Why did that happen? It happened because he was not actively looking into his emails, and he was not actively having a look at this section, right? So another suggestion that I would want to share with you is that actively look at the notification. Unfortunately, we get like hundreds of notifications, but if you get a notification from Indian Business Portal, please do look at it. Please email from Indian Business Portal, please do look at it. There may be opportunity inside that email and you may accidentally miss out, right? So you can even create a label in your email, and all the emails which are from Indian Business Portal, they are all going there so that you don't miss out. So that is one thing. Second is if you invest like 10-15 seconds every day, you can create it almost like a ritual. Every day when you're starting your work, you can dedicate like a minute, or at the end of the day when you are closing, at that time you can dedicate a minute. Just come to this page and you can click here, and in the next page just have a look if there is a RFQ which may be of relevant to you, so that you don't accidentally miss out on these kind of opportunities. All right. So now let's understand the other process, like what is the other method using which international buyers or foreign buyers are going to do business with you. Now, the other method is wherein the international buyer is going to come on the platform, and instead of using that post buying requirement wherein they are expressing that this is what I want to import from India, they want to actually look out for exporters. And for that, they can use the search feature. In fact, the search is also customized or modified to meet the requirements of international buyers. And when I say so, here you can see there's an option to search by product, supplier name. So in case they know your name, your company name, that this is a very good supplier of the basmati rice from India, they can put in your name and they can search for you. And last is IDC HS code. So it is a common practice by international buyers to search by HS code. So they can even search by HS code and they can easily find you, or they can go through the navigation. It is a fairly extensive navigation consisting of more than 4,500 categories and subcategories. So the entire spectrum of products which are exported from India, they're all covered here. And through this navigation as well, they can go and they can review the products. So let's randomly open one of the products. I'm opening a product of exporter I personally know, Shiv Textile, Bipinji. So this is one of the products that this particular exporter offers, and just imagine that I am a international buyer. Let's say I'm situated in Canada and I'm looking to buy these products for my retail chain. So I came across this product that is looking very nice, and I would be more interested to see like what else does this exporter has. So that's where I can very quickly click on the name of the exporter and I can access their profile. This is their profile that we are looking at. Now, the first page which loads up automatically all the products which are offered by this particular exporter, they're all listed here, right? So the immediate thought that came to my mind as an international buyer was, what else does this exporter offers? I click on the profile, and the very next thing which I see are the other products that this particular exporter is offering. So I can see the other products and I can see, okay, this product is looking nice, this is also looking nice, right? So I can make that selection. And when I've gone through the product and I realize that, okay, this is an exporter which is meeting my requirement, they have all the products, or most of the products that I'm wanting to import for my business. Let's understand more about them, right? So I haven't yet made my mind, but I'm very keenly interested in this business. So that's where I can see there's about a section also here. So I can go and I can review the information that they have added. I can see they have started their business in 2007 and they have already exported to many countries. So I know about that, and this is where I can also see their certification. So I can review the certification and I can be absolutely sure that it is a genuine business, right? So I can see the certification, I can review the information. So this is where any apprehension, any doubt which is there in my mind, they are all cleared out, right? So I saw the other products that they are offering. I know that they have quite a few interesting products. I know about this business. I've reviewed their certification, so I'm sure that it is a genuine organization. And now I can proceed ahead to connect with them. How will I connect with them? Right? There are multiple options which are available. The most popular one these days is the request meeting option, which is here. Now, how does this request meeting option work? So, if as an international buyer I use this option, I will be requesting for a meeting with this particular exporter, Shift Textile. So, this is where I will be sharing with them that I'm wanting to buy these products and I would want to meet you at this date and time. Here's the meeting link. Are you available? Right. So this is not scheduling a meeting. This is where the person is checking with you. Are you available for a meeting? Right. That's what is happening. But if I was in your place, I will be firstly extremely excited. Like, okay, this is a great opportunity. I will be able to have a meeting with international buyer. That is great thing, but how will I know that there is a meeting which is being scheduled by international buyer? And that's why I said it is important that you keep an eye on the emails that are coming to you from Indian Business Portal, because a international buyer may have scheduled a meeting and we have sent you an email update and you may end up missing out. So keep an eye on the emails that you're receiving, especially the notifications or updates that are coming to you from Indian Business Portal. So you will get an email update that there is a international buyer who's wanting to schedule a meeting with you. And we have also created a section on the control panel. So all of you will be creating an online store and it has a control panel. So this is the control panel of a demonstration account that I have. So on the control panel, we have created a My Meetings section. So on this section, all the meetings which are future or past, they are all listed here. So this is where you'll see all the today's meeting. This is where you'll see all the future meetings which are going to happen. So all the meetings will be listed here so you don't miss out. So even if you're missing out on the emails, you can just come to this section just to cross check if there's a meeting which is scheduled or if there's a meeting that I have to do today, right? Additionally, we have given here options. So this is where you can tell or you can select what are your working hours and which all days you work, so that when the international buyer is requesting for the meeting, they can request accordingly. All right. So this is one of the method using which international buyers will be connecting with you. The second method is contact seller, which you are seeing here. Again, the information from international buyer will be shared with you. So this where you'll get all the information, what is the name of the person, their contact details, their company, their designation, their country, all that information you will get. But how will you get that? That's a another question. or area of anxiety, like how will I get to know that there's a person, there's an international buyer who's wanting to connect with me and do business with you. So you will get an email update. Right? Don't worry, you will get an email update. And we have created a section on the control panel where all these requests are logged. So you can periodically, if possible, on a daily basis, but at least every alternate day, I would recommend that you should come here and have a look at this section because, again, there's a possibility you may miss out on the email. So you can just simply come to this section and see if there's a contact us message, and you'll get all the details. You can reach out to that person and you can connect and discuss the details further. So this is the second method. The third is they can use the visit store option and they can go to your beautiful online store that you'll be creating on the platform. And here you must have already added your contact details using the contact details. So either your contact us page or the phone number and email ID that you have added here. Using that, they can again contact you directly as well, right? So if you are getting a direct email or a phone call from an international buyer, you can imagine that may have come from Indian Business Portal. All right. So these are the few methods using which international buyer are going to connect with you directly. Either they'll schedule a meeting, or they will share their contact details, or they will approach you directly on your phone or email. So this is how you are going to do business with international buyers on Indian Business Portal. Again, what are the areas where you should focus, right? This is where I explain to you the process. But if you have to actually exploit this opportunity, then what is different that you should be doing? So, firstly, and let's go back on the profile, or I have the profile open here. So, this is the profile. Imagine this is your profile. So, what all you should be ensuring? Firstly, your logo is properly updated. Second is certification. As many certifications, four, five, six, seven, whatever number of certifications you have, add them all. This is where I can show you a profile where they have added like 4 or 5 certifications. So as many certifications that you have, add all of them. It will just increase the credibility, the trustworthiness of you in the eyes of international buyers. So this is something that you should focus on. Then coming to the About Us section, this is where add details. Again, not too much, but around a paragraph so that there is sufficient information, and then all these information, all these fields, you should be updating them properly. So this is one. Then products, ensure that each and every product which is there in your catalog, they are all appearing here. They are all listed here, right? So if you have 100 products, all 100 of them are appearing here. It is important, otherwise you are going to miss out. So this is where you have ensure that your profile is updated. Now, other than profile, so that was point number one, ensuring that your profile is updated, and inside the profile you had those sub points. Point number two is search, and this is very obvious. I don't think I have to explain. A very intuitive thing or a very impulsive thing that we do is we go to any website, and within few seconds, if we are not able to find what we are looking at, what is the next thing that we do? We use the search, and that's what international buyers also do. And they, when they are searching, you have to ensure that your products are appearing and they are appearing on the top. So you'll have to do a little bit of hard work. And that's where you can use AI to your advantage. You can use AI to understand what are the keywords which typically are used by international buyers, and you can include them in your product content so that when people are searching here, they can find your product. The point number three is navigation. So the international buyers may also be going through the navigation. So that's where it is important for you to ensure that your products are appearing in the right navigation. So, for example, you are exporter of honey. So you have to ensure that your products are appearing in the honey category, right? If they are not there in the honey category, a international buyer who goes through the honey category and does not see your product will not do business with you because he can't see you. He sees your competitor or some other exporter who's exporting honey. He'll do business with them, right? So ensure your products are appearing in the right category. It is not necessary all your products are from one category. They may be across multiple categories, but whatever is the relevant category, they should be appearing there, right? You have to ensure that the ranking or the sort order keeps changing, right, from time to time. So it gets shuffled randomly so that everyone gets opportunity. But search is something that you can manipulate and you can ensure that you are appearing, if not at the first plate, on the top of the page. All right. So that was related to how you are going to do business with international buyers on Indian Business Portal. Now, I can imagine many of you are not listed or you are not present on Indian Business Portal, and you will be interested in understanding the process. So very, very quickly, because I can see we just have 5 minutes left, and I would not want to extend the session. Last time we extended the session for almost 40 minutes. So I would not want to do that because we have Mukesh ji, whose time is precious. So I would not, and your time is equally precious. So I would not want to spend that. So very quickly, I'll walk you through the journey of listing your business on Indian Business Portal. And why am I doing that? Because otherwise there is a lot of tutorial content which is available. So why am I doing that? Because if you recall, I told you in the presentation that you have to create an online store to list your offering on Indian Business Portal. Now, I can imagine that many of you are from traditional backgrounds or you are not very tech savvy. So you must be thinking like, okay, we don't understand the computer a lot and we don't have a lot of coding, or we don't have any coding or any computer IT skill. So it will be impossible for us to do that. Now, just to clarify that doubt, I can just talk for 5 minutes to clarify that doubt, but I know that that doubt will not get cleared. So I will actually walk you through this journey very, very quickly so that you can understand like how simple and easy it is, right? So those complexities are the things of the past, right? So they are not there. Anyone who can do a copy paste or who can type, they can create a website, a functional website, they can use it and they can grow their business through it, right? So don't get bogged down by those negative thoughts that we don't understand computers or we don't have technical knowledge, right? So don't get bogged down by those negative thoughts, right? So very quickly, to create or list your products on Indian Business Portal, you have to come to Indian Business Portal, click on this option, register as Indian exporter, which will take you to the next page where you have to click on this button, create your catalog, which will take you to the next page where you will see there's a video which is embedded. I request you to please watch this video if time is not of a great concern. But if you don't have a lot of time, then you can just simply keep this video open on the other browser tabs so that if you get confused or if you get stuck anywhere, you can refer to the video, right? So we'll skip this part. In fact, we are not going to play the video. This is a 19-20 minute video. So this is the page from where we opened this video. And as the next step, you have to just input your name, email ID, create a password, and then do the OTP verification, GST number, verify the GST number, input your business details, and then the industry do you belong, you select that, and then what type of business operations do you do, just select that, which will bring us to this overlay. On this overlay, there are 3 simple questions that you have to answer. Then you have to select a suitable design theme. If you don't like it, you can very easily and conveniently change that. And in future, you can easily change that, which will bring us to the third and the last overlay. On this overlay, you have to just review your store name, which will be already pre-populated there. And the next field, which is store URL, it may be either empty or it may have a code like this. So if it is a code, then select and delete it. If it is empty, then just type your business name. And if it is a code, then select delete and then type in your business name. And let me just fast forward a little bit so that you can, or just move forward in the video so that you are a little clear in terms of what I'm saying. So business name is Reliable Fashion Enterprises. So this is where you have to type your business name without space or any special characters. All the numbers and all the alphabets are allowed, but no space or other special character, right? Hashtag, at the rate, etc. Nothing of that sort is allowed. So you have to just type in your business name. So your store URL will be Reliable Fashion Enterprises or whatever your business name is, .linker.store. Now that leads to a common question that what is this linker.store? So linker.store is our subdomain that we are providing to our users absolutely free of cost. And you can use it for as long as period as you want entirely or absolutely free of cost, right? So you don't have to pay anything for that. That leads to another counter question. Can we use our own domain? The answer is absolutely yes. In fact, very quickly, if I switch the tab and took you to the examples which I was showing you. So this where you can see this business is using their own domain, rawcraft.in. However, if you want to use your own domain, you want to use linker.store or continue to use linker.store, you are welcome to do that. So this is where you can see this business is using linker.store subdomain. So it is entirely up to you whether you would want to take it live on your own domain. And just for everyone's knowledge, that if you are wanting to take your online store live on your own domain, then I would suggest that you should reach out to our help desk. A person from our team will connect with you and they'll guide you through the journey. It is not very complex, but it is little technical. So instead of you getting confused and frustrated, just reach out to us. We'll guide you. It will hardly take 15, 20 minutes or half an hour of your time, right? So please do that. So once you have added these details, then click on create store, and this is where you'll see there's uh, this button I'm referring to. Click on it and you will see there were 4 steps and you have already done 3 of them. The fourth one is to add your product, and this is where uh, the entire product journey is explained in the video. And there's a bulk upload option also available. So if you want to upload products in bulk, if you have a larger catalog, you can do that. Now, with respect to the product approach journey, it is explained in this video in great detail. So I'm not going to waste your valuable time there. But there are two things which I would want to discuss. The first one is GI product, which you can see here. So GI product are geographic indication, or these are the specialty products that we have. And for GI product, there is a special navigation also we have on Indian Mills portal. So GI product can be across multiple categories, and these are basically specialty products of a particular place. So for example, Varanasi, which is very popular for Banarsi sari, but they are equally popular for wooden lacquer toys as well. So let's open one of the wooden lacquer toys, wooden sindoor box. Now, I'm not sure how much this emblem is clear, but here you can see it is a GI product, Varanasi wooden lacquer and toys. So if you are dealing in GI products, toggle that button and then select the GI category and subcategory and upload the GI certificate. Without uploading a GI certificate, you cannot specify your product as a GI product. So please do that. The second point which I wanted to highlight was around the categories. I mentioned to you that you have to ensure that your products are appearing in the navigation in these categories. But how do you do that? So for that, you have these categories. So this is where you have to select the category and you have to select the subcategory. For example, let's continue with that honey example only. So you'll have to select food and beverages and you'll have to select honey. And that's how you will ensure that your product is appearing in the right place. All right. So you have to do that. Now, rest of the journey I'll skip because it is explained in this video and it will not be a very sensible use of your time. So we'll skip that. And once you have uploaded the product, then you have to, at minimum one product has to be uploaded. You have to click on this home shaped icon, which will bring you to the home screen. And this is where you have to click on the unpublished button and publish the store. And you will see a congratulatory message that you have completed this setup, but this is not the end. This is where you have completed the setup. Uh, and for explaining the rest of the steps, I'm taking you to that demonstration store I was showing you earlier. So here you have to firstly go to the catalog section and upload the remaining product. It is highly unlikely that you just have one product. So you have to upload the remaining product, and you can either upload them one by one using that product feature, or you can upload them in bulk. Once you have done the product upload, then you can go to My Store and you can do a little bit of beautification. You can select a suitable theme or change the theme. You can upload the banners or do the color correction using the store preview. You have to set up the navigation, which you can set up using the navigation tab. And you will notice that in each of these sections, we have already added the tutorial video here. So if at any given point of time, if you're getting confused, you can watch the tutorial video to get clarification. So once you are done with the beautification and navigation setup, etc., that is where you have to now submit the request. So to do that, you have to click on Indian Mills portal, which is there in the left navigation. You click on that, and which will open this page. On this page, you have to fill up this form, and this form basically fills up the About Us section. So this information which we are seeing here, all this information comes from this form. So just fill it up little cautiously. So you have to specify whether you're a FIEO member. You have to do an IEC verification, and then you have to select the legal entity type. When did you start your business? Uh, are you a merchant exporter or manufacturer exporter? If you are both, you can select both options. Are you MSME? Export turnover of previous 3 years, countries you have exported to, countries you would like to export to, a number of employees, license certificate you can upload as many as possible, advantages, innovation, add reasons why international buyers should do business with you, and then click on save, which will enable or activate the second screen. Let me quickly show you the second screen as well. So the second screen will is this. On the second screen, you will see there are do's and don'ts which are listed here. Most important is this video. I will request and encourage you that you should watch this video, because in this video we have explained what are the common mistakes that can prevent you and your business from being listed on Indian Business Portal, and how to fix them as well, right? So not only the problem, the solution is also there. So please do watch this video so that you are absolutely sure that there are no mistakes, no issues. And once you are certain, then you can just agree to the terms and click on submit. And your request will be submitted. Our operations team will review it. And within 2 working days, if everything is in order, you will be listed on Indian Business Portal. And if there are issues, they'll reject your request, but they will share with you and specify the reason why they're rejecting, and then you can fix the reason or fix the issue, and then you can submit the request once again. So that's how you can list your offering on Indian Business Portal, list your business, list your products on Indian Business Portal. And this is all from my side. This is where I'm going to stop the screen share, and we will now break into the question answer round. Now I can see there are a few questions which are already there in the Q&A. And if you have already not added your question, I encourage you to add that. And while you are doing that, let me share my contact details and also the contact details of our help desk, so that if you need any help, you can easily reach out to us. Right? So just allow me a few seconds to do that. My laptop, I'm not sure why it is acting up, and that's why you are seeing uh, my video and video to be a little blurry. All right, so this is where you have my contact details, and then I am sharing the contact details of the help desk with all of you in the chat. I am also sharing the link of a WhatsApp group. This is a group which we have created. This is basically called a WhatsApp IBP support WhatsApp group. So this is where a number of colleagues of mine are part of this group. And if you need any help, you can just chat in this group, and someone from our team will connect and reach out to you. All right. So these were few pieces of information I wanted to share with you. There are few tutorials I would, along with the link of today's webinar's recording, I am just going to add in the chat. So next few seconds, you'll get that as well. Now, in some of my previous webinars, there have been instances wherein the participants who were joining through their smartphones, they were not able to copy the links from the chat. So if you're facing this issue, then you can just drop an email to me, and I'll personally share all the details and webinar recording. Otherwise, we will be emailing to you the webinar recording. So on the email ID that you have used to join today's webinar, we will be emailing to you. Otherwise, more simpler thing which you can do is you can just go to YouTube and search for Global Linker. So my name tag you must be seeing somewhere, I think here. No, here you must be seeing. So just search for that Global Linker and on YouTube, and you will go to our YouTube channel. And on the YouTube channel, we have different playlists. So in the live playlist, you'll find the recording, right? So if you want to personally go and explore the recording, you can also do that. So I've added all these details. And once again, if you're having a difficulty in copying these links, just drop an email to me, and I will personally share them with you. All right, so this is where now I am going to start reviewing the questions and then responding them. So the first question is from Smita. These Her question was related to the website examples which I was showing. So Smita, the online stores are created on FIEO Global Inker, which is our platform, and the products which are listed on the websites, they are then listed or showcased on Indian Business Portal. So you are basically uploading the products on the websites, and the products from the website are then listed on Indian Business Portal. So I hope it is already clear by now, but because you had asked, so it is my responsibility to answer that question. Uh, Next question is from Madhav. So Madhav, his question is how to grow his business specifically in particular industry, tea industry. So Madhav, there are two things which I would want to request you. One is there's an email ID which I had shared earlier in the chat, ibp@fio.org. So you can drop an email on that, and FIEO official will guide you in terms of what certifications, etc., or which countries you should try exporting or try exploring, etc. So that kind of guidance you can receive from FIEO. Once you have created your digital catalog and once you have listed your product offerings on Indian Business Portal, then you can let me know. I will review. I'll personally review your uh, online store. I will personally review your product listings, etc., and I will share with you how what are the areas of improvement and how you can do it better. The next question was again from Madhav, and the process of the listing on Indian Business Portal is already clear. So I think we can move ahead. Next question is from Shravan. And to answer this question, I will request help from Mukeshji. Mukeshji, Shravan's question is what certifications do I need to export aluminium scrap?
Sir, suppose that ICGST and RCMC is mandatory. Beyond that, in case where he is exporting, first thing, according to suppose that exporting country, suppose that we can check and suppose that just request to him, just drop one mail to us and we check. Suppose that where he is exporting, accordingly, suppose that we can reply to him. Because
Sure.
country not mentioned where he is exporting. One
Right.
thing is here.
Sure. Absolutely. So, Shravanji, you are requested to send an email. I'm also sharing the email ID with you through a personal chat. You are required to send an email on this email ID with details of which country you would like to export, so that the FIOS team can review and they can let you know which all certifications are needed. Next question is from Basant Ji, and his question is related to the fees. And this is something which I would want to answer not just to Basant Ji, but to everyone. Indian Business Portal is a DIY platform. So this is where, as a do-it-yourself solution, you can use it absolutely free, but you don't get the entire spectrum of features. Now, if you recall, in this first part of our discussion, I showed you a website which is doing international retailing, and it is showing the prices, or it is dynamically changing the prices based on from where the person is reviewing or accessing the website. Now, if you want to use those kind of advanced features, then you'll have to upgrade to a premium package. Otherwise, you can use the DIY free version, absolutely free of cost, right? So that is around the fee structure or pricing. Next question was from Atul. And his question was they're into different lines of businesses, and now they are getting into plant nutrients and fertilizers. And the question is again around uh, certifications, etc. So Atul, I would request that you also send an email to FIEO on IBP at FIEO.org, and FIEO's team will review and respond to you. Next question is from Shashiji. Shashiji, it is really nice to hear that you are already exporting to the customers in UK. I will strongly request that you should list your offerings on Indian Business Portal. Uh, Create the detailed catalog, list your products on Indian Business Portal, and through that also you can expand your visibility, your reach, and your opportunities or your chances of getting more inquiries, orders, and leads for your export business. Next question is from Parth Agarwal, and he's a merchant exporter. So, as a merchant exporter, you deal in multiple categories of products. So, I would recommend that you should be listing your product. Now, his second part of his question was, how do I stand a chance as compared to manufacturers? So, Parth, every international buyer is not just exclusively looking to procure from merchant exporters. So there are international buyers that we have come across who explicitly mentioned, but those are far and few. Wherever they are going to get a better deal, wherever they are going to get a better pricing, wherever they are going to get better terms and more comfort, that's where they are going to do, right? So you should be very, very confidently approaching and listing your product, right? So don't worry about that fact. Next question is again from Shravan. His question: will FIEO member get a premium feature on Global Linker? Yes, you do get. You get a highlight that you are a registered FIEO member. So uh, I don't think we have time for that now, but otherwise I would have shown you that all the FIEO members, they have registered FIEO member tag. In fact, your RCMC is also displayed on your profile. So if you would want, if international buyer wants to see your RCMC or the registered FIEO members are highlighted. Uh, in fact, there is a sort or filter option also available that if international buyer wants to exclusively deal with the registered FIEO members, they can also do that. I'm just very quickly going through the chats which are there in the chat option, and there's a question by Joshi ji. His question is, we can connect our own domain with, one thing which I would want to clarify here, you're not connecting your domain with Indian Business Portal. You are going to use your domain for the new website that you're creating on Indian Business Portal, right? So your old website will stop working and your new website, which you have created on the platform, it will start working if you want to do that, right? So there is a need. So even if you're doing the domain mapping, that would not automatically or magically pull the products. You'll have to still do the product upload, listing, creating, setup, all that will be required. So that was Joshiji's question. Uh, Next question in the chat, which I can see, is from Amu Ashok, and his question is that they are into fabrication business. So, Ashok, in your case, what you should be doing, that what type of products you deal in, you should upload them as a reference, and you should clearly mention these are modified based on the client's requirement, In fact, if I remember, I showed you an example of engineering products. So that's where they were dealing in pipes, bends, etc. So they also manufacture products, and we have many uh, high engineering businesses which make precision products based on clients' requirement. So you should also list that these are the type of fabrication that we do, and these are customized based on the client's requirement. Next question is from Rajendra Ji, and he is mentioning that he is a merchant exporter. He does not have product information. So, Rajendra Ji, in today's day and age, product information is actually not required that much. So, for example, talking hypothetically, you deal in, let's say, agri product, you deal in basmati rice. So in that case, using AI, you can very conveniently generate the image for basmati rice, and using AI, you can very conveniently generate the content for basmati rice. So within 2 minutes, you have all the content created. In fact, in the link in the chat where I shared one of the tutorial video about how to upload products, that's where I've also explained how you can use AI to create all that. You can easily do that. But in case of specific product, like there's a engineering product, there's a particular type of wall or valve or something, or some machinery, that's where specific images are required. But other than that, for generic product, at least like fruits and vegetable items, or let's say for edible items, etc. That's where now for handicraft item, like you will have to procure image. So in that case, you can just use your smartphone and then use AI to enhance those images and then list them, right? So it is doable. It is not a impossible task. It is doable. You'll have to invest a little bit of time and energy there. Uh, Next question, and I think this is the last question that we should be taking because we have already exceeded our time by 21 minutes. So that is from, I think, Khadija. And the question is, they're a merchant exporter into pharma raw material. So this is where, Khadija, you can even list APIs which are there. So we have exporters from pharma industry. So the raw material, or in fact, there are exporters of raw material which are required for your Ayurvedic or natural supplements, etc. Just list your products, list your offerings there, what you're dealing in, and then you'll get the opportunities through Indian Business Portal. All right, so this is where we will have to conclude the session. We have already overshot our time by 20-25 minutes. So we will be concluding the session. But if there's a question which is not answered, or if I was not able to provide a satisfactory response, I request you to please do reach out to me personally. You can drop me an email, and I'll be more than happy to respond to you. I used to share my contact number with the participants, but unfortunately, because of paucity of time, I was not able to attend to everyone. So that's where I've stopped that practice. But if you send me an email, I will personally respond to you and look into your question and your query. So I think this is where we should conclude this session for today. Thank you, everyone. Thank you
Thank you.
for taking out your time. Thank you, Mukesh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Chiragji, for taking out your time and participating in this session. Have a wonderful evening ahead.